everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tori and today's video is all about makeup. I just filmed a video yesterday using the Il Makiage and Carly Bible collab, the new one of course, so go check that out after you're done watching this video. Disclaimer, I am missing 2 nails. Just wanted to point that out. I know it looks a mess, but I'm gonna fix that later. I was just too excited when I got these products in the mail and I needed to film it now. I have already primed my face. I used the Wet n Wild primer serum over my face, which I love. And then I use the NYX Marshmallow Primer in my T-zone because that's where I tend to get more of my oil and where my pores are larger. And then I primed my eyelids with the P. Louise base in the shade Rumor 2, which I think is just a standard shade. But that's all I've done to my face. I haven't done anything else because I have 2 very exciting collections from 2 different brands. They're both influencer brands. I'll give you a minute to maybe come up with which 2 you think they are. Any guesses? Well, you're wrong. The first one, which I'm very excited about, I've had my eye on this palette since it came out. Caliente palette by Artist Couture. And I got the matching Silk Cream lipstick in the shade Caliente. Which also, these shades, some of them are in Spanish. I have Invisalign in, so I have a little bit of a lisp. And I never took Spanish in school. I only took French, so sorry if my accent butchers these things, but I'm gonna try my best. And then the second influencer brand that I'm trying out today, I know she's controversial, I know, but it's Jaclyn Cosmetics. This is the brightening and setting palette. So I don't have any brightening powders for under the eyes. I only have like translucent powders or just found a powder foundation that matches my skin tone. I don't have anything brightening to go under the eyes that's specifically for brightening and setting the under eyes. So when I saw that she came out with this product and I had been researching different powders to try, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try this. And I've only watched 1 review of this, and it was from Paige Corin, who is like a big fan of Jaclyn, and I'm a big fan of her. She didn't really have the best experience with the collection as a whole, using it all together, but something tells me it had to do with the under eye primer and the other setting powder that I didn't buy. But this is the light I think this is the light palette. There's like 4 different types of these palettes in like 4 different like shade ranges. I got the second one, so I think it's light. And these shades are Peach, Almond, Light Banana, and Caramel. Okay, so first things first, I like to go in with my eyes first. So we're going to be trying out the Caliente palette first and foremost. And then I'll go off camera and I'll do my face makeup. And then I'll come back. We'll try out the Jaclyn palette. And then after I've completed everything, we'll go in with the Artist Couture lipstick in the shade Caliente. This is so cute and light, but it doesn't feel cheap. It's so cute and thin and totally travel friendly. And then you open it, and it opens completely out like this, which I do appreciate. So we have a cute little mirror. There's my camera. And then we have these beautiful shades. Matte yellow shade, and it's in the shade Cultura. Sorry. Next, we have this pretty orangey red shade in the shade Fuego. Then we have this like pinky mauvey a little bit color in the shade Vibras. And then we have this like boldy. Honestly, it's a little bit green. I don't know. I am colorblind. I'm color deficient, so sometimes colors look a certain way to me and people are like, no, that's not what color that is. So I apologize. Oh, and that's in the shade Mangarita. I know that word, okay? Next, we have this orangey metallic shade, and it's Rumba. Oh god. And now we have this like really pretty metallic light orangey peachy shade, and it's Brillo, B-R-I-L-L-O, is that Brillo? And then next we have this purpley, again, a little bit mauvey shade, and it's Mamacita. I also know that one. And then we have this nice, really warm brown in the shade Sensual. I love the packaging. I love how thin it is. I'm so excited to try out these shades. So let's jump on in. I don't know what to start with. I think I'm gonna do Cultura, Fuego, and maybe Mamacita in the outer corner to define it. I'm gonna go in with Brillo. So I'm going to go in with this fluffy brush from Morphe, and it's the E21. It's like nice angle. We're going to go in with Couture. Wow, that's pigmented. Okay, that's pigmented. That's pigmented. Okay, Artist Couture. Okay, Angel, I see you didn't come to play. And there's like a little bit of fallout, but not like a ton where I like press it and it's like all over the place. Okay, so that blended like literally beautifully. That is yellow. That's what I wanted. Okay, so next we're gonna go in with Fuego, which is this like pretty orangey shade. Again, not a ton of fallout at all, but super pigmented. I just want to define the crease with this shade. Okay, I'm gonna go back in with Cultura and just bring the yellow back, you know? Just feel like I overblended a little bit. I just need to bring that yellow back. Yep, there she is. There she is. I think I'm gonna go in with Vibras instead. Again, not a ton of fallout and super pigmented. And then I'm gonna go in with Fuego again and just define and like blend. Now we're gonna do the same on the other side. This is what it looks like with those 3 matte shades. I don't know why, I just feel like it looks better on this side. Like I feel like everything blended and like looks more seamless than on this side. And it's time to go in with Brio. Okay, it's not smooth like butter like I was expecting, but it is just as bright and pretty as I was expecting, so let's pop this on the eye. And same on the other side. Not as bright as I thought it would be. It's really pretty, like don't get me wrong, but it's a lot more of a drier formula than I expected. You look in the shades and you're like, oh, that one's gonna be buttery, soft, metallic, and it's not. It's kind of dry. Okay, I think it looks nice. I think it created a really cute look, but I am a little disappointed in the metallic. I think it's still a really pretty color, but it's just not as vibrant as I was expecting. But it's still pretty, and I like the palette so far. So right now I'm going to hop off camera and clean up my under eyes with some makeup remover, and then I'm going to do my foundation and my concealer, and then we'll be back to try this out. Okay, so we're back, and this is what it's looking like with just foundation and just concealer. So those are my under eyes. I used the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Hydrating Foundation in the shade 230. And then I used the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer Satin Finish in the shade Light Peach. That's what I used today, and that's all I did since you guys last saw me. Oh, and I added eyeliner, but that has nothing to do with the face. Here we are. In Jaclyn's video, I did watch it. She said that she goes in with a sponge under her eyes with this palette, which, oh, by the way, here it is. So you have the little raised J, Jaclyn. So it is lighter than my skin, but I feel like it'll be nice and brightening on my under eyes. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a brush and how I think I'll be setting it on one side, and then I'll be using her method using a beauty blender on the other side. So this is a peach, this is almond, this is light banana, and this is caramel. I think that makes more sense. I think I'm just going to go in with peach under my eyes. I think that's what I want to go for. I feel like this yellow might be a little bit too yellow for me. And almond looks good too, but I think I want to try peach. And I'm using the e.l.f. sponge. I got all the water out of it, but it's a nice and big sponge. It's one of my favorites. So I think on this eye, I'm going to use a brush, and this eye, I'm going to use a sponge. Here we go. I'm going to go in with peach. I don't know if she blends it out. Look at how, yeah, there's a noticeable difference. It is brighter. It also really did, I feel like, diffuse my pores. I think I'm gonna go in with a little bit more and just focus it right here. Wow, that is really brightening. Look at the difference. I mean, wow, that is really brightening. I do like applying it with a sponge. You do really get the full effect when you do that. Now we're gonna go in with a brush in the same shade. There's not a ton of fallout also. I'm gonna still do this like stippling motion. I'm not gonna completely sweep. I'm gonna go in with a second coat. I mean, we know that going in with a brush isn't gonna be as densely pigmented or packed. Comparing the two, it definitely brightened more on this side. You can see more creasing and darkness on this side. But it did still brighten on this side. I just don't think it looks as good as this side does. This side looks like diffused and just, it just looks so good. Okay, so there you go. I love this. My first impression, amazing, love it. I've only used the shade Peach. The packaging is beautiful. The mirror is beautiful, and the product itself is beautiful. But I'm gonna give this a 10 out of 10. I'm gonna go off camera, finish the rest of my face, do the blush, bronzer, all of that, eyebrows, all of that. And then I'll come back so that we can try out the last product, which is the Artist Couture Silk Cream Lipstick in the shade Caliente. So I'm back, and I put some lashes on, actually. What do we think? What do we think? And now we're finally going to test out the final product, and it is the Artist Couture Silk Cream Lipstick in the shade Caliente. I took it out already. This is the first Artist Couture lip product that I own. Look how pretty. So I did swatch it, and it did come out super buttery, super smooth. So I'm excited to try this out. Honestly, I did have to do a few layers of it in order to get it to this color. But I like it. It is pretty. It's comfortable. It's definitely not kiss-proof. It is a cream satiny finish, so it's not matte, it's not kiss-proof, it's not smudge-proof. And it does take a little bit to build, which kind of was annoying. Now that I have it there, I think it looks really good. This is the final look. I think that my eyes look really good. I think that my lips look good. And I think my under eyes look bright and snatched. So overall, these three products are a hit for me. I'm gonna do swatches from this palette, but I just wanted to point out that I do really like the shadows. I think that they blended really nicely, but I am gonna go ahead and say that this is not a beginner-friendly brand. I also have the Static John and Artist Couture palette, and the shades are harder to blend on that palette, and I blamed it on the fact that it was mainly purples and blues, which are harder to formulate and blend in general. But I have to say it's kind of the same thing with this. The pigment is there, the color payoff is there, but they are kind of hard to blend and a little bit dry. But overall, I do really like this palette, and I am very excited. I love the color scheme. I love the packaging, and I love how my look turned out. I do wish that the metallic was brighter, but that's my only complaint. But if you are new to makeup, I wouldn't recommend this brand. But if you know how to blend your shadows and you're good at that type of thing, then I say if you're interested, go ahead and purchase. This, I feel like brightening under eye powders aren't exactly beginner friendly, just because they can be a little stark and not look so amazing if you don't know what you're doing. But I think that this is a great palette to go ahead and try out. I think that it is worth the price, especially considering the packaging and how soft these powders are formulated. And I am very excited to try out the rest of the colors that I can. And this, I'm gonna give this. And now let's just swatch these really quick. This is the shade Couture. So that's one swipe. And that's 2. And that's 3. Overall, a really pretty, vibrant yellow. And next we're going to go in with Fuego. Ooh, to the touch, this is very gritty. Feels very gritty. Wow. This shade is very hard to swatch and it's very patchy. I've had to go over it like 5 times, so I think it looked nice on the eyes and it wasn't as patchy on the eyes, but it does not swatch well. This one's a little gritty, but not as much. This is the shade Vibras. Oh yeah, that's a lot more pigmented. Yep, this is only after 2 swatches. Next, we're going to go in with Mango Rita, which is this orangey metallic shade. Oh, this is already buttery, more buttery than Brio. Wow. Okay. That is really pretty. I am not disappointed by that. I'll just do another for the giggles. Wow. Okay, this shade is beautiful. So now we're going to go in with Roomba. This kind of looks a lot like Mango Rita. Okay, so it's like Mango Rita, but a little bit more reddish. But again, it's very buttery and the pigment is definitely there. That's really nice. I like that a lot. Next, we're going to go with the shade Brio, which is a shade I already used. So that's after 1 swatch. So I think this is just going to be more of a topper, because you can't really see it. It is really pretty in this, but it's not as pigmented as I had hoped. Next is Mamacita. Okay, so this is a lot like Vibras, except it's darker and a little bit more red. That's nice and pigmented and swatched nicely. And next we're going to go in with Sensual, which is this final burnt orange brown shade. Oh yeah, that's swatched beautifully. So this is another one, swatched beautifully, super pigmented. Overall, I would say only 2 of these shades are a little bit disappointing, and it's this one that didn't swatch so nicely, and this one that I wanted to be more buttery and pigmented of a base. But you know what? These are really pretty shades, and I'm happy that I purchased this palette, and I will definitely be using it more this summer. That about sums up this video. I hope you all enjoyed watching. If you're feeling up to it, please subscribe to my channel and give this video a like. And if you want to go a step further, follow me on Instagram at No Palette Left Behind with dots in between each word. I'll leave it right here. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!